Right now on Up with KREM, candidates for Washington's Public Lands Commissioner tell us about their plans to protect eastern Washington from wildfires.
This weekend will be split between a warm Saturday and a rainy and windy Sunday when a strong cold front will make its pass through the inland Northwest.
And the Mount Spokane Ski Patrol Ski Swap is back for another year. We're live all morning with details and the information you need to know.
I think historically we are challenged with the demand and the need for service.
And this morning we get a look into a survey about how Spokane residents really feel about the future of downtown.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, good morning, everybody. It is 6 a.m. on this Friday morning. Thanks for joining us here on Up with KREM today. I'm Channing Curtis. Meteorologist Thomas Patrick is getting us ready for this weekend weather-wise. So, Thomas, what does the weather have in store for us, especially today?
Yeah, and today is actually not looking too bad. Our temperatures have not gotten down to that 32-degree mark in Spokane, so a decently okay start to the day. But you know me, I want to put in as much effort and detail as I can when it comes to any rainfall, and that's going to be the case for especially this upcoming Sunday. So today is going to be a rather fine day. Just a quick look at our day planner showing mostly sunny skies, and our high temperature is actually a pinch warmer than yesterday, back into the upper 50s in Spokane. But check out this weekend from the 10,000-foot view overhead. Maybe a small chance of showers on Saturday, but on Sunday it's 100% chance, guaranteed rainfall for the inland Northwest as a cold front passes through, giving us a quite rainy and windy day for the back half of the weekend.
Well, a traffic alert that could impact you this evening. Tonight, the Idaho Transportation Department is closing the intersection of State Highway 41 and Millan Avenue. They're also closing the westbound off-ramp at exit 7 on I-90. Now, these closures start at 9 o'clock tonight and will reopen at 6 a.m. tomorrow. Also, starting tonight, one lane of westbound I-90 will be closed from 8 p.m. until 5 a.m. tomorrow. As always, we'll keep you updated on these closures and let you know if anything changes this morning on Up with KREM. Well, this morning we have new details about what happened inside a Falls City home where detectives say a 15-year-old murdered his parents and 3 siblings. The teen is expected in court today and is now charged with murder and attempted murder. Court documents reveal that after the 15-year-old son shot and killed 5 family members, he then tried to frame his dead brother, staging the scene to make it look like he is the one who did it. Our Seattle station learned more about the disturbing crime, including a potential motive, through the 11-year-old sister who survived.
Parents Mark and Sarah Humiston died along with 3 children, 13-year-old Benjamin, 9-year-old Joshua, and 7-year-old Catherine. On Monday, the King County Sheriff's Office received the 911 call from the Falls City House. The 15-year-old suspect allegedly told the dispatcher his brother, quote, just shot my whole family and committed suicide too. Investigators said the gun was in Benjamin's hand, but it appeared he was shot from more than a few feet away. We are not naming the suspect because he's being charged as a juvenile. A neighbor told 911 dispatchers an 11-year-old girl came to their door saying her 15-year-old brother shot and killed the rest of her family. That girl later told investigators that her brother shot her too, in the neck and hand, but she held her breath and played dead. She said she saw her family's bodies in the hallway and saw her brother checking each body. She waited for him to leave, then escaped through a window in her room. Court documents revealed the suspect was the only child in the home who had access to the lockbox where his father kept his Glock handgun, which he's now accused of using to kill his family. When deputies arrived at the home, court documents say the evidence led to the arrest of the 15-year-old for shooting and killing his parents and siblings.
The surviving sister told investigators that the brother was recently in trouble for failing some school tests. The 15-year-old is expected to be arraigned before a juvenile court judge this morning. Today, President Joe Biden is expected to formally apologize for the country's role in forcing indigenous children into boarding schools. More than a dozen of those schools were located in Washington state.
I'm heading to do something that should have been done a long time ago. Make a formal apology to the Indian nations for the way we treated their children for so many years.
The forced assimilation policy was launched by Congress in 1819. It ended in 1978 after the Indian Child Welfare Act passed. The law primarily focused on giving tribes a say in who adopted their children. Well, this morning, the owners of Wolf Lodge are looking into the possibility of building a new restaurant. The building burned down this past Labor Day, but in a Facebook post by the owners, it says that the Wolf Lodge is currently looking for a local survey crew and an architect. Now, you might remember that this fire was ruled accidental. Our Boomtown series looks at the growth here in the inland Northwest, and right now a zoning change is on the table in Bonner County that would potentially make way for more development near the Schweitzer Mountain ski area. On Wednesday, the Bonner County Commissioners held a meeting about the proposal. During public comments, several community members raised concerns over water supply to those areas and a lack of public roads.
But I really do think there's legitimacy to denying this, sending folks back to the drawing board to at least provide better information to the public prior to these hearings.
During the meeting, the board's chair, Asia Williams, said that she did not feel comfortable making a decision on the future of the area without more information. The next time the county commission will talk about the proposal is December 12th. Well, speaking of skiing, tomorrow the Mount Spokane Ski Patrol Ski Swap is back for another year. And this morning, our Brandon T. Jones is joining us live from the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. So, Brandon, we know you're getting a sneak peek at everything that's available there at this year's exchange. What are you checking out right now?
Well, here's the thing, Channing. There is just something for everyone, it feels like, right, Cameron? And we're checking out some of the kids' gear over here at this particular point in the morning. First off, Cameron, thank you just for, speaking with us this morning.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no, can you talk about, just how there is something, a little bit of everything for everyone if they're interested in it?
Well, by the end of the day today, we'll have probably close to 30,000 unique items here. Everything from clothing, skis, snowboards. We've got Nordic gear for those of you that don't like to go downhill fast. That's okay. We got snowshoes. But the big thing that we have is kids stuff. Yeah. We've got clothing, skis, snowboards, boots for kids. Yeah. And, this is like we were talking about in the last shot, this is the kickoff to the season. People are trying to get their little ones, they're on gear, they grow every year. So you got to get new gear every year. The best way to get your kids outfitted is right here at the swap because we've got everything from the smallest skis to, these are for a little bit bigger kid, but we got clothes too. Everything you could possibly need to get outside in the inland Northwest, man.
Exactly. Well, and we were talking about how it is looking like it's going to be a good season. So Thomas, if you're listening right now, if you can speak on that when you get a chance too. But also we just want to say thank you for doing what you do. I know the Ski Patrol, they work extremely hard, but can you talk about just the hard work that you all put in, and then just how this helps benefit the work that you all do as well?
Yeah. Well, we operate in a state park. Our ski area is operated by a 501c3. So Mount Spokane Ski Patrol itself, a different entity, but it's a 501c3, and we're all volunteers. We're one of the largest and oldest all-volunteer patrols left in the country. We have 150 members, and each of those people has to go through a training course that takes upwards of 300 hours to become, get the red coat and become fully accredited. So whenever there's trouble out at the hill, we're there to help.
And so we appreciate you. I know the people you're helping appreciate you. And then just, all of the skiers and snowboarders. We're going to talk a little bit about some snowboarding action too in our next one. So you guys stay tuned for that. But Cameron, thank you, man. You're the man, and we appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll toss it back to you in the studio.
I know all of our ski resorts want snow as soon as possible. I can tell you that next week, I think snow levels are going to drop between about 3,000 and 3,500 feet. So I do think high elevation snow is in the works for next week. But I'm focused in on this weekend and a storm system that is starting to approach out of the Pacific Ocean. Honestly, this is a bit more of a mild storm because it came out of the tropical Pacific waters and is just going to take a little bit of energy from the North Pacific along with it. Very complicated way to say it's going to rain and be windy for this upcoming Sunday. So we have a weather impact alert day for Sunday, mainly because the winds are going to be a bit stronger this time around with the cold front passage, as wind gusts are already forecasted up to 40 miles per hour. Coming up, we'll give you the hour-by-hour time frame of when the rain and wind is going to be at its strongest and most likely. All coming up in your full forecast in just a couple minutes.
With Halloween less than a week away, a lot of families are getting ready to carve some pumpkins. In fact, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission says nearly 150 million people carve pumpkins each year. But if you're not careful, the family fun festivities can turn scary. On average, ER departments treat 3,200 Halloween-related injuries a year. Ouch. And 55% of those are related to pumpkin carving. That's why it's so important to use proper tools and techniques to minimize the risks. Which brings us to our wake-up call this morning, because with all this pumpkin carving talk, we want to see your pumpkins. They could be from this year or years past. Doesn't matter. Just snap a photo and text them to us at 509-448-2000. Like this viewer who sent us one of a pumpkin that they didn't carve, they painted, of course, in the Seahawks theme. I love this one. So if you have any pumpkins that are out decorating your front yards or maybe even in the inside of your home, snap a photo and text it to us at 509-448-2000.
We get the question almost daily from people, can we have our pets placed with us?
In the next 5 minutes, how a new memorial garden is allowing you and your furry friend to be laid to rest together. Before we go to break, a reminder, this Saturday you can watch the Seattle Kraken play right here on KREM 2 as they face off against the Carolina Hurricanes. It's a game you can only watch here on KREM. The pregame show starts at 6:30 p.m. and the puck drops at 7. Don't forget, this hockey season, KREM 2, KSKN 22, and Quest 22.2 are your spots to watch Kraken games for free.